How did you get to know the school to apply to, and eventually you came to West Virginia University, where we are right now?
So my PhD journey is, let me say, it's long. If I remember the emails, the rejections and everything else.
You started that time?
I started like...
as soon as you left the Netherlands?
Yes. No, actually, let me tell you, when I left the ITC, I didn't want to see books anymore.
Those are tortures.
It was torturous. Yeah. So let me tell you, by the time I was leaving, I know most of the people we were with, you would ask them, would you want to do a PhD? And they would say no. I don't think it's for me. Yeah, they're tired. Because in the Dutch system, you have a CAT, as continuous assessment test in the first week, the second week, and then the third week, you do a main exam for that unit. So you're always busy the whole time through, even during summer.
Wow.
Yes. So it's a super rigorous kind of intensive kind of training. So by the time most people, I believe most people had a burnout from the whole process here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So you worked, and then again, how did you select the West Virginia? So you went, you said you applied to several places.
Yes.
But
I applied to, I was juggling. I'd always wanted to come here. Actually,
because you said your siblings are here.
Yeah, I have 3 siblings here.
You are the only one who was still, maybe you are meant, you are meant for the ITC.
No, actually, I did my first application for, here in the US, for the first PhD, I did my first application at Idaho for a PhD program.
Idaho State?
Idaho State University. I saw an advertisement. Actually, I went through the whole process. I did the GRE, I did the TOEFL then, I submitted them. But unfortunately, when it was almost that time for them to give me the final feedback, I actually got an email from the professor, and there was a policy change. You remember the first time Trump came in, the America First. So they were forced to give priority to candidates who are within the state first. So I was knocked out. So after doing all that, spending all the money in the exams, that is in 2018, I never got the opportunity. But I never gave up. So,
and you didn't want to do a PhD in Kenya?
In Kenya,
or there are even very few opportunities in hydrology and
in Kenya,
GIS.
Yeah,
GIS we do have. Jomo Kenyatta University has
Technical University. Nairobi University also has a strong GIS course. But looking at Kenya, we have, let me say, challenges in completing your PhD within a set time.
It can take quite long.
Yes, I know people who are engineering, and
I know a friend who took 10 years.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't to tell you that. I know someone who took 10 years to get his PhD in engineering in Kenya. And hydrology is more of civil engineering. So I thought of it, and I was working, and getting a scholarship in Kenya is also quite difficult. And paying out of your pocket, and you have all these things to juggle around. So easy. I think it's not easy. So my main focus was looking for a PhD either here in the US or back in Europe. Yeah, so I made a few applications here in the US, in the UK too, and I got a lot of rejections. So I got rejections because there was one I applied for Sweden. Went for the interviews and everything else, but they told me they found someone with more publications. So I was knocked out based on the few publications.
Wow. I mean, hold right there, Kennedy. I mean, you are a story of a lot of resilience. You don't give up. I mean, oh my goodness.
I think in 2019, I stopped doing applications.
You were tired?
Completely. I was tired because I think I'd done almost 8 or 9 applications. And remember, when you have to do a PhD, and
there are many things you have to write.
Yes, you have
statement of purpose.
Statement of purpose.
Recommendation letters.
And remember, you have to craft it to be
tailored to what you need,
to my need, and also to the course.
Yeah.
So it was rigorous. And at some point, remember also you have to get recommendations.
Yeah.
And imagine approaching someone, because I have very few people that I ask for recommendations for. These are my professors, some professional colleagues. And
also you had even done your master's in the Netherlands, which is not easy just to walk and get a...
Actually, one of the challenges I had is, there was a time, actually this West Virginia scholarship, I didn't get a recommendation from my university. My professor had left.
Wow.
So luckily, my professor here, I told him of the challenges I was waiting, and we waited for almost 2 weeks. I wrote an email to my former professor. We were friends on LinkedIn. We had connected. I wrote him a text. He blue-ticked me. So I was like, this thing is going. So luckily, my professor here told me, Kennedy, we can actually waive one recommendation. We can only waive, but you have to get the other recommendations. They needed, I think, three or four. So they waived one. And I sent the ones that I had. So the journey was like, that time when I stopped in 2020, I believe so, I think I had some form of burnout on this thing. Because asking for people for recommendation all the time and they don't see any results from you, you're not giving them the white smoke. So that time I stopped and stayed for like, I think 1 year just to breathe. And then I started the next year. So in total, I think I'd have applied for 10 positions.
Wow.
Within the course of almost, almost 6-7 years. No, actually, no, 3 years, 4 years.
3-4 years,
Yeah, I'd applied for almost 10 positions. And some I went to the last, but
it still didn't work
wasn't mine,
But eventually it worked out. Now you are here, you are in Morgantown, you are in West Virginia, PhD, you know. How is it?
So far, I don't know, but so far.
At some point you said that you saw white smoke. Are we still waiting for white smoke?
No. I think it was a false smoke because now I have to come up with the research. And it has to be a research that is sounding enough to the academic world. So if it's not sound enough to the academic world, I think it's
something that will solve an actual problem out there.
Yes, and something that introduces a novelty to the craft. But it also has to be something that will solve a problem out there. So,
but you've done a semester. So we only say you have to count your successes. Because sometimes moments of failure and self-doubt come, but when you get success, you have to acknowledge it.
We've had some units on this semester, especially the programming units. And let me tell you, programming for people who have
because in many parts of Africa they don't really teach programming.
Programming is mostly super elective. If it's not within your field, you never.
They're not in IT and all that and software development.
Yes. So I tried to do some Python back at home. I did also some R programming. These short course, 1 week, 2 weeks courses.
They don't really give you a hands-on and application and solve the problem.
They might give you an idea. And most of the time after that, you think you're going to have time. You're going to have time to sit down and learn more about it. But this schedule of school and work and family and everything else, you never have time to enhance your knowledge. So right here now, you're now in the real environment. You have to learn programming, the hands-on programming that's really needed in the field.
But you are cut out for it. If you've never given up all that time since you left the ITC until now, wanting to pursue PhD, I think you eventually it will work out. And now you have a big Kenyan community here. At least, people who are ahead of you whom you can talk to, etc., etc. And also now we have now known members of the Kenya scientists in diaspora community. It's a big community, over 500 people who've done their schooling here, masters, PhDs, and are working professional professionals as well, which we can provide a support system.
Okay.
We'll also introduce you to the Kenya students in diaspora. I think you need to join that one as well. There are, webinars every month, led by, professors. In fact, the one coming up next is this Thursday, and actually the ambassador is the guest.
Oh, okay.
It's a virtual, I'll send you the link. It's a virtual webinar. So very helpful, how to navigate immigration, how to navigate relationship issues, how to navigate finances, so very relevant, comes every month. We also have a Kenya Scholars Conference, that comes up in Atlanta. It's coming up in Atlanta in September. I'll send you also the link as well. Those are opportunities where you can go meet, professors in the US. Some have been here 40, 50 years. They have gone through their entire system, and you may meet some who are even in West Virginia. So I think those opportunities can be able to provide not only mentorship, but also provide a fallback position to alternatives that you can want to pursue, going forward. Your family is here now as well.
Yes, family is here. I think they're going to give me a softer time. When studying.
They came a good time. Spring, summer is very beautiful. It's warm. Warm. Even for you, you are now feeling much. You're feeling much better to see green and flowers.
It's been challenging moving family, especially with immigration right now in the US. It's really hard, but we thank God. I usually tell people I'm a man of faith.
Yes.
I believe when you go down on your knees, God blesses you.
God blesses you.
So it's been a lot of prayers. And I remember also, immigration is expensive.
It is.
So you have to look for money, you borrow some, you make some, you sacrifice some from what you're making. And that was one of the kind of strings that I pulled to bring them here.
Wow. Wow. And they're here now. Thankfully, at least, you can, share, aspirations and challenges sometimes. And, we want to wish you the best. We'll keep on following with you to see how you are doing. Every time we come around in the area, we will check on you. We come to Pittsburgh. It's only 1 hour away.
It's 1 hour's drive.
So we will call you. By the way, there's a very nice pizza restaurant in Pittsburgh. Where you make not pizza, the burgers that you don't like. It's a burger restaurant. So you can keep on putting layers and then it's about 2 feet tall. So it's a spectacle. How do you even bite it? But all the same, it's quite a beautiful place. And there's also, of course, the way Pittsburgh is, there are 2 rivers which join.
Ohio and Monongahela.
So there's actually a dinner cruise you can take on a ship. Very nice in the spring and the summer. A dinner cruise for about 2 hours.
So funny enough, I'm a water guy.
So there you go. But you don't like water.
I don't like water.
Maybe because you're